Bulgaria, we're going into the Balkans and creating a Balkan War. Because of course they should have another Balkan War. They had the first one and the second one. Thanks a lot, Bulgaria. Maybe if you weren't so greedy, you would still be a big nation in today's world. Who knows? But they decided to be greedy and try to get more land. And how did that work for you? Very awful. And well, there was World War II. It split the Balkans. Oh wait, World War II and World War I both split the Balkans. No, that doesn't count. And well, Serbia likes to start this. And Serbia's pretty awesome. Instead of everyone starting it, it's just Serbia. Serbia is taking back what it says is its land, and whatever else says, no, it's sovereign. A lot of people say it's sovereign, but a lot of people say it's not sovereign. So whatever you view, you can view that. It doesn't affect the video whether you think Kosovo is real or not, because we can just say de facto independent. And you may think Albania is the savior of Kosovo. They may push the Serbian units back, but Serbia just crosses into northern Albania as Albania attempts a counter-offensive, which pushes the Serbians back away from their coast. But what they don't know is Serbia is about to take another nation in. With them having problems there. But then Serbia decides it's a great idea to fund, well, Serbian nationalists. Great idea, really. And yes, this is what I mean, Srpska. Because who doesn't like Srpska? Well, probably Bosnia, but that's besides the point. With Bosnia falling into a state of civil war. With the Serbian-funded insurgents launching an offensive. With the goal to take the capital. Because nobody likes the capital. Well, that's what I learned from every book. No one likes the capital. So I guess that's the case. With Bosnia managing to push these rebels back in this front. As the rebels take the advantage over here. With Serbia deciding to declare war on Macedonia, yes. They want to get Greece's and Bulgaria's support. You know what? That's a great idea. Always get Greece involved. And Turkey is stepping around, and well, nothing's really, they're not doing much. They don't really care. As well, Bulgaria launches an invasion of Macedonia along with Serbia and Greece. As Greece launches an offensive in the southern Albania, which leads to Serbia and Greece capturing the capital. Well, then Bulgaria captures Skopje and then the country falls. And well, Bosnia's really headed to a civil war at this point. And well, while not paying attention, Turkey ended up hearing about Cyprus overthrowing Turkey. So they decide to invade it. Now that problem's solved. Or so they think. It's probably like the Civil War. Yes, that problem's solved. We're done with it. You don't need to worry about it. 5 minutes later. As Serbia launching a full-on offensive into, well, what's it called? Croatia. And well, Croatia doesn't enjoy it. Bosnia's capital quickly falls. With the rebels in Serbia marching forwards, the rebel finally takes over Bosnia and officially declares war on everyone else. And you may think it's over. Greece starts a small invasion of Turkey. Everyone's like, oh, this is over. And people start becoming unhappy, but they don't know what's about to happen. With Croatians just about pushed back to Slovenia. With Romania deciding to join to help the Greeks and, well, Bulgarians and Turkey. With a joint Greek-Bulgarian-Romanian offensive pushes in to take Istanbul. With Turkey failing at this. But more troops are being sent. And then they negotiate with Hungary about Hungary joining the war. With the front line looking like this. And they tell Hungary they can have parts of their old lands. And that's all that takes to entice Hungary. Because Hungary is hungry for land. Yes. Because I want to make a joke about Hungary. Like, if you're hungry, just say Hungary. Yeah, Hungary. Hungary. Yay. Wonder how many times that joke's been made. As they move into northern Serbia, with Romania moving troops to launch a counteroffensive, which doesn't do much as in the mountains, same with Serbia. But with a big breakthrough over here happening, so then the Turks decide to go behind the Greek lines, which they do this too. And then they're forced to either retreat or surrender. And what seemed fear of encirclement there, the invaders are forced to withdraw. And as well, Turkey has moved the front line quite significantly, that means. As Turkey shakes up the front line. With it seeming like the Balkan allies are doomed. As a joint Serbian Romanian invasion of Turkey occurs in the fall of Zagreb, but Croatia refuses to surrender, despite not having most of its territory. With Slovenia getting invaded, but they refuse to surrender. But as they have a lot of troops up there, they're not really paying enough attention down here. They even managed to take parts up here, with Croatia having two goals: a re-liberation of Bosnia, overthrowing Srpska, and while Turkey starts its offensive in the south, which kicks them out of Istanbul, and Bulgaria is still holding a small amount. So Turkey decides to land here in this island, and then they take it over. With a few troops from Turkey being sent up in the Croatia area. And they use these to recapture Zagreb and connect the front line with Hungary. And Hungary pushes and takes Budapest back and parts of northern areas. As the anti-Srpska rebellion breaks out in Bosnian majority areas and Croatian majority areas, leading to the rebels seizing these lands. And after this, the rebels declare a civil war. And they even cross into northern Macedonia, into Montenegro, with Serbia forced to withdraw from a few fronts, as a bunch of Serbian troops may have or may have not got encircled up there. And while Serbia is trying to get them out, but they're too slow. With Bulgaria's front breaking down with these Turkish troops having taken land in the north, they move right into Thrace, Greek Thrace, and southern Bulgaria. As Hungary breaks through behind the front line with a goal of cutting off supply lines, this succeeds, and Serbia is now forced to withdraw. To hold the front. To try to hold their front. But their troops fail as Montenegro falls in some land. And while they move, the Turkish forces are moving across as they break through from here and take Athens. And Greek forces are in lots of trouble, with Serbia and Romania launching a last-ditch attempt to stop this. But they fail to get Athens, and they also fail to kick them out of there. With this front focusing on a siege of Vojvodina, and they move in a bit. And Turkish troops taking some major cities up the Bulgarian coast. And by major, I think there's one city there, and it's probably not even major. I just like to say major cities. With another breakthrough across into Serbian lines occurring. And this time, Hungary does one. With the Turks moving up and taking Constanta, a city from Romania. And now they move in to take Plovdiv. Greece is forced to surrender, with a joint offensive, counter-offensive being launched in this region. With the first nation to surrender being, well, Bulgaria, and then they use this to move in and take Bucharest, which doesn't make the Romanians surrender right away, but after a few successful advances, the Romanians surrender. Followed by the Turkish forces and other forces moving in from the south, with the northern front against Serbia being completed, and then they take that to take Belgrade. And Serbia refuses to surrender. And well, they're just taken over. They're just conquered. So let's see the peace treaty. Are people going to be happy with it? Let's see. Probably can't make anyone happy, but that's okay. Because a peace treaty is my opinion only. So let's do Greek Macedonian lands and Thrace. With Bulgaria losing southern lands and coastal lands, Romania lost part of their coast, southern Dobrogea, and they lose parts of Transylvania. With these nations expanding into Serbia, Albania takes over most of Montenegro, with some going to Bosnia, and they annex all of Kosovo, which annexes a bit of land. But because I want to do something cool in this video after we see this peace treaty, we can see Turkey extended into Thrace and Macedonia. Then we can see in these areas they've all extended a bit. So let's see a scenario in which the other side wins. Yeah, all of Montenegro, northern half of Albania, parts of Macedonia, and some parts of, well, what's it called? Croatia and some parts of Hungary. Same with Romania. Bulgaria got a little bit of Macedonia and a little bit of Thrace. With Greece taking all of Thrace, half of it, half of Albania, parts of Macedonia, and parts of Turkey. With Romania and Bulgaria feeling like they got the short end. And here, well, everyone's happy with the result. Well, that's all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out, and non-delay subscribe.